everybody, it's me Charlotte. Welcome back to my channel. I hope everyone is having a fantastic day so far today, because today I'm going to be teaching you guys how to crochet the Mile a Minute Afghan. Or you can make a baby blanket, or you can make a throw, or a table runner. Whatever you guys want to make, I'm going to teach you guys how to crochet it. It's very simple, it goes very quickly, and it's a join as you go, so you don't have to do any sewing, so it's very nice. But before we get into today's video, like always, I want to say thank you to everyone who has subscribed to my channel. Thank you for liking, commenting, and sharing my videos. If you haven't yet subscribed, please do so now, and don't forget to click that bell icon when you do. That way you'll be notified when I upload. There's some links in the description below if you want to follow me on Facebook or join my private Facebook group. Also, there's a link to the merch store that I have now if you want to check that out. Feel free. But yeah, that's all I had to say. Now let's get back to the Mile a Minute Afghan and how exactly it's constructed. So this might be a boring part of the video. I will try to get through it very quickly. But basically what you do is you make strips, or you could say like panels. And here is like one panel here. Let me show you. If I covered, this is like one panel. You have your main color, and this is the color that you can change it up and get very creative with. As you can see, I've done blue, gray, and like a burgundy color. So these are the strips. You're gonna make just strips, and then you join the strips together. So very simple. Don't mind the dog hair. I live with 3 dogs. They shed a lot. But anyways, so you're gonna start with strips, and I've done a little sample here which we're going to need, but this is how you start a strip. You do the colored part first. Let me bring you guys in a little close. You do the colored part first, and then you do a border, and then you do another border. And the very first panel you do, you're gonna do the whole thing. So what I mean by that is, this is the first panel I did. I did the color part, a little border around it, and then I did the final border around it. And I went all the way around. That's your first panel. Every panel you make after that, you're going to be joining the panels together. So as you can see, like right here, they're joined, and I joined as I crocheted. So I'm going to show you guys how to do that to make it makes it even better. It makes it go faster, and like I said, you don't have to fumble with a needle and your yarn and no sewing. So I really like that. But you can sew it if you want. If you like sewing your panels together, you can do it that way. But I'm going to show you guys how to get started. So that was kind of the boring part on just the construction of it and how it's constructed. I still haven't finished it. I'm really bad about that. But let me show you guys what you're going to need. You're going to need at least 3 colors. At least I recommend at least 3 colors. And you're gonna need like your main color part and 2 border colors. So for today's video, I chose this is like a purple lavender-y color. This is just a gray color, and this is like a smoky pink, or like a pink color. They're all worsted weight, 4-ply yarn. I recommend using whatever hook size the yarn is calling for. So if you're using a very bulky yarn, look on the back of the label, see what hook size they recommend, and use that hook size. That's how I usually, when I'm making an Afghan, if I'm not following a particular pattern, I just do whatever the yarn recommends. Okay, so to start your panel, we're going to start this color right here, this center colored panel part. What you want to do is get your yarn. I'm going to bring you guys in close so you can see exactly what I'm doing. You're going to make your slip knot. To make a slip knot, if you've never made one, which I'm sure you have, you wrap your yarn around your finger twice, take that back strand, put it in the front, take what is now the back strand and pull it completely off the finger, insert that hook, give a little tug, and you have a slip knot. Now to get started, you want to chain 4. So to chain, we just grab our yarn, pull it through. That's 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now we're going to make a little circle. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my hook, I'm going to go right into that first chain I made, This confused me a lot when I was starting out, so I'll try to get as close as I can without getting it blurry. But I'm going to take my hook and I'm going to go into that first chain I made, and it's right here. If you turn it over, you'll see the back bump. This is what the front of the chain looks like. I just go into the back kind of, and I just go under these two, like so. And I'm just going to bring up a stitch, do like a little slip stitch, bring it through, and now I have a ring in the center. Take this tail yarn here, I put it in the back, but I do crochet over it. So what I mean by that is, I just do not mind that. I was gardening, pulling weeds, and I cut my finger. Not really bad, but it is gross to look at, so I apologize. But anyways, so you just take that tail yarn, put it back here with that chain. You're just gonna go ahead and crochet over it. So I just kind of hold it with that ring. Now you're going to chain 3. Let me bring you guys out a little bit. So we're gonna chain 3, 1, 2, and 3, and that's gonna count as our first double crochet. And then we're going to double crochet 2 more times into the center ring. So we're gonna wrap our hook, put our hook right through that center ring, make sure we're crocheting over our tail, bring up some yarn, double crochet. That was 1. And now 1 more. Okay. So now we have 1, 2, 3, because that chain 3 counted. Bring my yarn over here. And now I'm going to chain 1. So I have 3 double crochet, a chain 3, and then 2 double crochet. And now I'm going to chain 1. And I'm going to put 3 more double crochet right there in that center ring. So 1, 2, and 3. Okay, so what we have going on is we have our chain 3, which we started with, 2 double crochet in that center ring, a chain 1, and then 3 more double crochet into that center ring. Now what you want to do, that was our first little row, you can say. You're going to chain 3, so 1, 2, and 3, and you're going to turn your work. You can turn away from you or you can turn toward you. This time I'm going to turn toward me. What I mean by that is I chain my 3, I'm going to take my project and flip it so it comes toward me. Okay, now we have our chain 3 here, we have our 3 double crochet, a chain 1 space, and 3 double crochet. All you're going to do is put 3 double crochet into that chain 1 space. So that hole we made right there in the middle, you're just going to put 3 double crochet right in there. So 1, 2, and 3. We're going to go ahead and chain 1 and put 3 more double crochet right in that center. 1, that same space, 2, and 3. Now to finish off this row, right here we have our 1, 2, 3 double crochet from the previous row. We're going to yarn over because we're going to put a double crochet in the top of this here chain 3. That's what it was when we started. I'm going to bring you guys in close so you can see what I'm talking about. Here's 1 double crochet, here's 2 double crochet, and here's that chain 3 we started with. So what you want to do is wrap your hook, and you want to go into the top of that chain 3. So right here. Here's 2 double crochet and here's the chain 3. We just want to go into the top of that chain 3. And you want to make sure that you go under 2 parts of that stitch. So 2 strands of that stitch. You know what I'm talking about. It's hard. I should have picked a better yarn, but I'm under 2 strands and I'm just going to go ahead and double crochet. Finish up just like that. So this is what we are left with. We now have 2 sets here and 2 sets here. So we have 2 rows completed. The most important part about this Afghan, or this mile a minute Afghan, is when you're making your center strip, you want to make sure you can make all the strips. Like if you want to go ahead and just make all the colored parts, as many pieces as you think you're going to need, just make sure that you have the same amount, that they're the same length. If you look here, this is how I count them. I have one set here of 2, because they kind of look like little wings. That's what I like to think of. They are like a half of a butterfly wing. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that's just a small sample. My larger sample, I have 77 of these. So just remember that if you want to make all your strips all in one time before you add any border, just make sure that they are the same exact length. So you can do that, but just by counting your little rows here. And right now I have 2. I want to get to 7. So we're going to continue on just so you guys have it. Again, when you start out a row, you're going to chain 3, 1, 2, and 3. Turn your work, and you're gonna find that center hole, or that chain 1 space you made from the previous round, and you're gonna put 3 double crochet, 1, 2, and 3, a chain 1, and then 3 more double crochet, all in that chain 1 space. And then to finish the round, all you're going to do is do a double crochet to the top of that chain 3 that we made. Sometimes it's double crochet, sometimes it's a chain 3. Regardless, just make sure that you find the top of it, go in through 2 legs of that stitch, do your double crochet, and that's how you finish off a round. Again, we're going to chain 3, 1, 2, and 3, turn our work, find that chain 1 space that we made in the previous round, or the previous row. We're going to put 3 double crochet, 1, 2, and 3. We're going to chain 1 and put 3 more double crochet right there in that center chain 1 space. And we're going to finish off with a double crochet to the top of that chain 3, or that last bordered double crochet right through here. So go ahead and just put a double crochet in there. Again, we're going to chain 3, 1, 2, and 3. Turn our work, and see, we're kind of getting like a strip, like a nice little strip. And all we're going to do is find that center again, that chain 1 space. We're not actually working into any stitches. We're just working in the center here in that chain 1 space, and we're going to put 3 double crochet. Here's 1, 2, and 3. We're going to chain 1 and put 3 more double crochet in that same space. 1, 2, and 3. And you're going to do this for as many rows as you want. You're going to go ahead and put a final double crochet in the top of that last chain 3 that we started with, just like that. We're going to go ahead and chain 3, 2, and 3, turn our work. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I need 2 more rounds, and then we can get to the border. So we chained our 3. We're going to find that center chain 1 space. We're going to put 3 double crochet in there. There's 1, 2, and 3. Chain 1 and put 3 more double crochet into that same space. 1, 2, and 3. Oops. 3. And then we're going to find the top of this last here, this chain 3 that we started with. We are going to find the very top of that and put a double crochet, making sure that we go through 2 legs of that stitch. And there we have that. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We need 1 more. 1, 2, 3. Start with a chain 3. Again, find that chain 1 space from the previous round. You're going to put 3 double crochet, 2, and 3. I know I'm repeating myself a lot in this video, but I really want to make sure that everyone understands and gets it. We don't all learn at the same speed. We're going to find that chain 3 space here, this very edge stitch. And we're going to put a double crochet into the top of that stitch to finish off around. And there we have it. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. So we had finished off, like I said, we have one set of these two little, or you can say they're rows. I like to look at them as like butterfly wings, but we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, and that's exactly how many I made for this sample. So all you have to do then is cut your yarn. Your needle or your hook is still in that stitch. Go ahead, grab some more, pull it through, all the way through, and then give a little tug. And there, you're done with that section. Now, like I said, if you want to make a bunch of these at one time, you can do it that way too. Just can make sure that they have the same amount of rows, so they are all the same length. Next, you want to grab your second color. In this case, it's like a light gray color. And all we're going to do now is add a border around this panel here, this strip that we had made. And I want to explain this strip to you very quickly before we start. You have a hole here. Let me bring you guys in close actually. Okay, you have a hole here, and your chain one space up here. These are going to be considered like corners. So this is a corner, and this is a corner. When you get down here, this is going to be a corner, this is going to be a corner, and the very tip will be considered a corner. And this is how we work the corners. First, we need to take our new color yarn. I like to make another slip knot. Insert my hook. And then right here, we're going to take our strip, and here's where we bound off or tied off. We're going to go into this space right here. So we have our center space, we have the space to the right of it, and there's a space to the left of it. We're going to go ahead into the space to the right of it from the center corner right here. We're going to go right here, and we're going to attach our yarn. And how I do that is I have my slip knot attached to my hook. I'm going to insert my hook into that space where I want to attach from the front. So I go in, I'm going to grab some of that working yarn, I'm going to bring it up through that space. I have my slip knot and now my working yarn on my hook. I'm going to take and do like a slip stitch, just like that. And then all you have to do is take your tail, give a little tug, and it's secured to that space. Now, to work a corner, what you want to do is you want to chain 3, and this is when you first attach your yarn, you're going to chain 3, like so. You can scoot this down a little bit so you have some room in this space. So I just scooted my stitch down a little bit. I chained 3, I'm going to work over my tail, and I'm going to double crochet 2 more times into that same space. So there's 1, and here's 2. Oops. Now I'm going to chain 1 and put 3 more double crochet into that same space. So 1, 2, and 3. Oops, 3. The whole time I'm working over my tail from my new color. Okay, so I started with a chain 3, 2 double crochet into that space, a chain 1, and 3 more double crochet into that same space. Now we're at the very top here where our chain 1 space was. Excuse me. We're going to we're going to double crochet 3 times. So we have 1, 2, 3, a chain 1, and 3 more. 1, 2, and 3. And that's how you work a corner. And you're going to have 3 corners on each end of your strip. So we did 1 corner here, a corner here at the very top, and now at this space right next to it, we're going to do another corner. And I like to work over this straggler here where we tied off our pink yarn, or I tied off my pink yarn. And I'm just going to go straight into that space with 3 double crochet. 1, 2, 3, chain 1, and 3 more double crochet into that same space. 1, 2, and 3. And now we're along the side, the edge of our strip here, and in each one of these little gaps, see, they're very easy to find. Each one of these gaps is just going to get 3 double crochet. So, find your next gap. We've already worked our corners. We worked 3 corners. This corner, and this corner. Just remember, there's the tip. That always gets a corner stitch, which is 3 double crochet, chain 1, 3 double crochet, and these 2 here get corners. Now we're working along the side, and like I said, they each gap gets 3 double crochet. So 1, 2, and 3. Go to my next gapping space is right here. Again, 3 double crochet. 1, 2, and 3. Next gap space right here, 3 double crochet. 1, 2, and 3. Another gapping space right here. We're gonna get 3 more double crochet. I'm sorry if this video is way longer than it needs to be, guys. I just want to make sure that everyone gets it, understands it, and I kind of repeat myself a lot, I know. So I apologize for those, or to those who may find it a bit frustrating or annoying that this video isn't going faster than it should. Okay, we have our last gapping space right here before we reach this very tippy corner. This is the circle that we started with. Now this is going to be a corner because here's our very tip of our strip, and this is to the right of it, and this is to the left of it. So what we're going to do is we're going to make this one a corner. So the last one here is going to get a corner stitch, which is going to be 3 double crochet. 1, 2, and 3. A chain 1, and then 3 more double crochet right into that same gapping space. 1, 2, and 3. Then we're going to come to the very tip, which is right here. It's where we started. Here's our tail yarn that we started with. We're just going to go ahead and crochet over that. So I like to just put it on top, like so. And I'm going to put 3 double crochet, chain 1, 3 double crochet right in that center hole right there. So we have 1, 2, 3, chain 1, 1, 2, and 3. So there's a corner completed, the very tip. We have a corner here we completed, the tip corner we completed, and now we have another gapping space right here. Now I'm going to tell you, the first time I did this, I made a mistake by going into here. This is part of our 3 double crochet in our strip. I went in behind that first double crochet stitch because it made sense to me at the time, but I had to rip it all out because you want to go into an actual gapping space. You don't want to go behind a stitch. You want to go into one of the edge double crochets or the chain 3s, if that makes any sense. Just be careful that you don't go here, part of your group of 3. You want to go into the big gapping space. And that is going to be a corner as well. So we're going to put in 3 double crochet, 1, 2, and 3, a chain 1, and 1, 2, 2, and 3. So we have, again, a corner stitch, which is 3 double crochet, chain 1, 3 double crochet, another corner stitch here, which is at the very tip, and then another corner stitch. Now we're working along our flat edge here, or our edge of our strip here, and remember each one of these gapping spaces gets 3 double crochet each. So I'm going to find my next gapping space, which is right here, and I'm going to put in 3 double crochet, 1, 2, and 3. Find my next gapping space for 3 double crochet, 1, 2, and 3. My next gapping space right here, 3 double crochet, 1, 2, and 3. And my last gapping space before I started here is going to get 3 double crochet as well. So we have 1, 2, and 3. And then to finish off, we've gone all the way around. We just need to attach this to this. I'm going to show you guys how to do that. We're going to go ahead and just find the top of that chain 3. Remember, we started with the chain 3. We're just going to go ahead and find the top of that, and we're going to slip stitch to it. Like so. Then we're going to take our scissors, cut our yarn, grab that yarn and pull it through all the way, give it a little tug, and there we have it. So now all we need to do is add our final border, and like I said, I've made 2 now. Like I said, when you first make your very first panel, you want to take your final border color and you want to work all the way around, and I'm going to show you how to do that next. And then from there on out, you want to start attaching your final border to this final, the one that you've already made, as you go. I'm going to show you guys all how to do that here in just 1 second. First, we have to prep our 3rd and final color, and this is what we've made so far. So now we take our 3rd and final color, and we're going to start it out the same way. We're just going to make a slip knot, attach it the same way we did the last time. Made our slip knot, put it around our color or our hook. Bring you guys in a little bit. We're going to find a corner. Remember, our corners have the 3 double crochet, chain 1, 3 double crochet. We're going to find the corner to the right of the very tip. We're going to go right in here to a corner, into that chain 1 space, and we're going to attach our new color. So remember, to attach, all I did was I put the slip knot on my hook, insert my hook from the front of my work to the back, grab the working yarn, bring it up, and just do a slip stitch. Let me do that with you guys in just a little closer in case you're having trouble with that part. So I have my slip knot on my hook. I'm going in to this corner piece here to the right of the tip of the strip. I'm going into the front of it. I'm going to grab my working yarn. I'm going to grab it, bring it up, and I'm going to slip stitch. And then I'm going to take the tail part of that yarn and just give a little tug, and there I'm attached. Now, what you want to do, this is a corner. We went into a corner. Now we have to do a corner stitch. Each corner gets a corner stitch. So this is our corner. So we're going to, remember, chain 3 to start. Just when we change color and are starting around. Chain 3, and then we're going to put 2 double crochet while I'm working over my tail yarn. 2 double crochet. So now it looks like we have 3 double crochet. This was our chain 3. We're going to chain 1, and we're going to put 3 more double crochet into that same space. So we have 1, 2, and 3. Now we have a space right here, and it's not a corner. It's just like, if you think of it almost like a granny square. All we're going to do in this space right here, kind of like the runway, or you're climbing up the mountain, haven't reached the mountain yet, all you want to do right here is just put in a 3 double crochet. So 1, 2, and 3. And now we're at the top of the mountain. Here is the chain 1 space. We're going to do a corner because it's a corner. So we're going to go ahead and put in 3 double crochet. 1, 2, and 3. A chain 1, and 3 more double crochet. 1, 2, and 3. Now we're on the runway again, or we're going down the mountain, and we have that gapping space here that is not a corner space. And remember for that, it's just 3 double crochet. 1, 2, and 3. Now we're at a corner. And because we have 3 double crochet, a chain 1, and a 3 double crochet all in that same space, so we're going to go ahead and work a corner with that same thing. 3 double crochet, 1, 2, and 3, a chain 1, and 3 more double crochet. 1, 2, and 3. Now we're working along the edge of our panel here, and all you want to do is in each space, each one of these spaces, in between each one of these chain or the 3 double crochets, these spaces here, they each get 3 double crochet. So just go ahead and put in 3 double crochet in each gapping space along the edge. So there's 3. Here's my next gapping space. I'm going to put 3 double crochet in here, 2 and 3. Find my next gapping space, put in 3 more double crochet, 1, 2, and 3. Find my next gapping space, you got it, 3 double crochet, 1, just make sure you actually go into the gapping space, 2 and 3. Here's our next gapping space, 3 more double crochet, go in there. So we have 1, 2, and 3. And then here we are at a corner. You can tell it's a corner because it's got 3 double crochet, a chain 1 space, and 3 double crochet, kind of all in that space there. So we're going to work a corner with a corner. So remember, each corner gets 3 double crochet, 1, 2, and 3 with a chain 1 and a 3 more double crochet in that same space. 1, 2, and 3. Now we're on the runway part, or we're going up the mountain. This is not a corner space, it's just an average gapping space, so it's just going to get 3 double crochet. So 1, 2, and 3. Now we're at the very tip of, or the top of the mountain, very edge here. We're going to go ahead and do a corner because that is a corner. So we're going to do our corner, which is 1, 2, 3 double crochet, a chain 1, and 3 more double crochet all in that same spot. 1, 2, and 3. I'm sure you guys have got this by now, but you know me, I like to just crochet along with you guys. I'm not a fan of editing the videos. I'm not good at it. So I try to just make one big long video. You can skip forward if you're bored. Okay, we're going back down the mountain. This is not a corner, it's just your average gapping space. So we're just gonna put in 3 double crochet. 1, 2, and a 3. Now we've reached a corner, and I know by now you guys know how to do a corner, which is just 3 double crochet, 1, 2, and 3 with a chain 1 and 3 more double crochet into that same space. 1, 2, and a 3. And again, we're working along the edge here. So we just need to, let me bring you guys out. We just need to go ahead and put in 3 double crochet into each one of these little gappy spaces. And we're almost done. And next we just need to continue attaching our panels. So we have 1, 2, 3. Are you guys sick of hearing me count to 3? Normally I don't count out loud. 1, 2, 3. Okay, like I said, you just keep going along all these gappy spaces. So I think I'll just talk to you guys for a minute while I finish this up. What other videos do you guys want me to do? Because I am completely, I was thinking about the whole washcloth thing. I lack time. I do not have a lot of time to knit. a bunch of washcloths. I wish I had someone who lived close to me that enjoyed knitting. That way, you know, they could help me out with some samples, but that is not feasible for me. Okay, I'm coming up to my last gapping space. 1, 2, and 3. Okay, now we're just going to attach to where we started. Let me bring you guys in close for that. So I just finished up my last gapping space. I'm now going to connect it to where we started. So again, just going to find the top of that chain 3 that we started with and slip stitch. Like so. Okay, I'm going to cut my yarn and pull it through and through. Okay, so now we've completed our panel. This is our very first panel. This is what we are going to be building off of when we do our borders for the next one. Let me show you guys what I mean. Okay, so here's my next panel. I just need to add a border to this panel, but as I add my border, I'm going to be attaching it to this border. So here is the most important part. Let me bring you guys in close. Okay. You can see our little butterfly wings is what I'm going to call them. It's our colored panel in the middle, the first one we started with. So you have that one and you have this one. What you want to make sure before you start your border on this one here, because this one, that's your building block. This is what you're building off of. This one here, you have to make sure, bring you guys in a little closer. You see how these are all like winged out like this, like they're coming up that way, they're pointing that way, and how these are kind of like pointing this way. You want to make sure that all your panels are kind of going in, or are actually going in the same direction. So can you see that now these little butterfly wings are kind of pointing in the same direction as this one? If we did it this way, it would be backwards. Now, if you don't mind that, no big deal. Something like that would irritate me or drive me crazy, especially if I wasn't paying attention and they were all just random. So I try to make sure that they're all going the same way. Another thing you want to make sure is that you're working on the right side of your work. This is the wrong side. This is the back side of your work. Oh, you can definitely tell that's the back side. But that's the back side, so you don't want to attach back side to good side. So make sure that your work is all going in the same direction and that you're working on the correct side. Okay, now to attach these beautiful panels together, you're gonna have to do a border with this one. Let me bring you guys out a little bit. So we have our panels set up, and this is how I recommend you do it. You set your panels up as you go. So I have this one here, now I have this one, and I want to set it up as I go to make sure that everything is aligned properly. Now, we're going to be attaching here. So when we get to our border up here, we're going to be attaching our border here to this border there. So what I like to do is I set up my panel, and I'm going to actually start my border down here. And I'm going to work my border like this all the way around, and then when I get here, I'm going to start attaching my border to this piece. So I'm going to work this whole half just normal, and then when I get here, I'm going to start attaching it to this one. I've aligned all my panels. I'm making sure they all go the same way. They're all right side up. So now it is just time to attach. So what we're going to do is we're going to start our final border on this piece here by making a slip knot, attaching our hook with our slip knot, and like I said, I want to start here. So what I do is I literally pick up my panel from here and I start just like that, see? Because I want to attach it like this. I want it to look like this when it's attached. So I want to start in this corner here. So I have it set up. I'm going to pick up where I want to start, which is in this corner right here, and I'm going to make it, put my hook right into that corner where I wanted to start. And again, I'm going to attach my new color, or my border color, Let me bring you guys in close a little bit. So we are attaching like normal, just like we did the other one. We're gonna start out the same way. We're just gonna change up things a little bit when we get over here. So let's just go ahead and work this side. This is a corner we're starting in, so we're gonna chain 3, 2 double crochet, a chain 1, and 3 double crochet into that same space. Okay, that was a corner. Now we're gonna work into the next gapping space, because here's our tip. We're not going that way, we're going this way. So now, next gapping space, we're gonna put in 3 double crochet. I think you guys know how to do this, but we're gonna do it really quick. Excuse me, my mouth is extremely dry from talking too much. 3 double crochet into each one of these gaps here. That was 1. So each one of these gaps are gonna get 3 double crochet until we get to the corner. And then I'm gonna show you guys how to attach as you go. So that should be exciting, especially if it's something you've never done before. Okay, working to my corners here. All right, I'm to my first corner here. What I'm gonna do is I'm just going to 3 double crochet, chain 1, 3 double crochet. Okay, now I'm in like a runway. Remember our runway going up the mountain? It's just a normal gap. So we're just going to put in 3 double crochet, 2 and a 3. Now we're at our very tippy here, our very corner. We're gonna go ahead and put in 3 double crochet, our chain 1, and our 3 double crochet. 1, 2, and 3. Going down the mountain, here's our average gap. Remember, average gaps, they just get 3 double crochet. So 1, 2, and 3. And now we're at our corner. And this is, remember where I said we wanted to kind of join. So when you get to this corner here, what you want to do is you want to do the first half of the corner, which is going to be, I'll bring you guys in. It's going to be 3 double crochet. That's first half of our corner is 3 double crochet and a chain 1. So I'm going to do 3 double crochet and a chain 1. Now I want to attach it to this one that I've already made. Let me show you guys exactly what I'm going to be doing here. We're going to be attaching all the way across here as we go. So to do that, we're going to bring you in close. We're going to take our time and learn this, guys. Okay, I chained my 1 on this square. I want to go ahead on this square that we've already finished, and I want to find that corner space, that chain 1 space in the very corner. I'm going to take my hook and I'm going to go right down in. I'm from the front to the back. I'm going to insert my hook into that chain 1 space in the corner. I'm going to take my working yarn that I've been working with, and basically you just want to wrap your yarn, your working yarn, around that hook and bring it through that space like so. And you're going to do like a slip stitch. And then you're going to go ahead and finish the corner down here. So we're going to put in 3 double crochet. Don't worry, guys, we're going to do that a few more times. So I'm going to finish my 3 double crochet. Okay, but as you can see, we are attached right there. Now, to continue attaching, you're going to find on the square you've already, or the panel you've already done, the next gapping space, which is right here. This is the square we've already done. This is the next gapping space. We're going to make sure we have our working yarn. We want to make sure our working yarn is kind of in the back. Take our hook, insert it to the from the front to the back of that already finished panel. Wrap our working yarn around our hook, bring it through, and slip stitch. Now we're going to find our next gap down here on the one we're still working on, and we're going to put in 3 double crochet. 1, 2, and 3. Okay, Next, we just go back and forth. We find our next gapping space right here. Take our hook, go from the front, insert our hook back there, pick up some of that working yarn, bring it through, do a slip stitch, and then find our next gapping space down here and do our 3 double crochet. 1, 2, and 3. Again, find our next gapping space. It's right there. Insert our hook from front to back. Grab some of that working yarn, pull it through, do a slip stitch, find our next gapping space down here, and continue with our border with a chain 3. 1, 2, and 3. Again, we're going to find our next gapping space on the top, right there. Insert our hook from the front to the back. Take our working yarn, it's hard to see because it's in the back. Wrap our working yarn around our hook, pull it through, do a slip stitch, find our next gapping space here on the one we're working on, right there, and do our chain or our 3 double crochet. 1, 2, and 3. Again, we're going to find our next gapping space on the square we've already done or the panel we've already done. Insert our hook from front to back. Pick up some of that working yarn. Bring it through. Do a slip stitch. Find our next gapping space. It's right here. Do our 3 double crochet. 1, 2, and 3. Finally, we have our last gapping space right here that's not a corner. Again, same thing. Take our hook, insert it from the front to the back, grab our working yarn with our hook, bring it through that gapping space, slip stitch it, and now here is the kind of confusing part. We're going to go into our corner. And remember how we only started with half of our corner before we started attaching? Well, we're only going to do half our corner here. So we did 1, 2, and 3. We're going to chain 1, and then we're going to go back up here to this last corner. It's our gapping space, and it's our last corner to on our already finished panel. We're going to do the same thing. Go front to back, grab some working yarn, pull it through, slip stitch, and then we're going to finish our corner. So we already did our 3 double crochet, chain 1. We attached to the final corner, final gap on our already finished panel, and now we're going to finish with our 3 double crochet into our corner. 3. Okay, and we're done attaching. Now we can just go ahead and finish this up. So we're going up a mountain. We have an average gap. It just gets 3 double crochet. We have already attached 2 panels together. I'm going to show you guys what that looks like. Here's our last corner. Again, 3 double crochet, a chain 1, and 3 double crochet. We're going down the hill. This is our last gapping space that's going to get 3 double crochet, 1, 2, and 3. And now all we have to do is join it to where we started. We're going to go ahead and find the top of our chain 3 that we started this whole round with. Insert it, do a slip stitch, cut your yarn, pull your yarn all the way through, and let's see what we got, guys. Widen it out, and here we have it. It is connected. Of course, yours are going to be longer and bigger, but watch the video a few times. It's not a hard stitch to get the hang of, and they are attached. And like I said, it's nice. You can attach as you go. So to continue, you would make another colored strip, do your border all the way around, then do your final border. Remember how I showed you, rewatch that part, how I showed you to start your final border when you're attaching, so you start in the right place, and then you're gonna attach, like everything's gonna work the same. And you just make it as big as you want. I hope this video wasn't too confusing, guys. I tried my absolute best to make it as easy to understand as possible. I'm sure not everyone will get it, and that's fine, and I'm sorry and I apologize. But for those of you who do understand, yay, I'm happy. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up. I worked hard on it. If you haven't already subscribed, please do so now. Don't forget to click the bell icon though when you do. That way you'll be notified when I upload. And again, links are in the description below. If you want to follow me on Facebook, join my private Facebook group, order some of my merchandise. It's nervous knitter stuff. You don't have to, but if you'd like to check it out, that link will be in the description below as well. And that's gonna be it. Again, guys, today we worked on the Mile a Minute Afghan, and as you can see, this is what a bigger piece looks like. Here are the ends. I don't know. It's fun, it's addicting, it goes by quickly. I hope you guys had fun watching today's video. Again, please subscribe if you haven't already. And until next time, guys, I hope you all have a super wonderful, fabulous day, and happy crocheting. Bye.